These 3 to 5-year-olds in Indonesia are at play. They are also learning essential skills and attitudes that will prepare them to succeed when they enter school. And they are developing these skills with the assistance of a very simple tool, a radio. These children, and millions like them around the world, have significantly improved early learning experiences, thanks to the use of interactive radio instruction, or IRI. IRI's reach and affordability helps communities with few resources provide high-quality early education and offer their children a better start. Children in high-quality early childhood programs build the basic academic and social skills they need to succeed in school and increase their social and economic opportunities. Unfortunately, many governments are unable to provide such programs at large scale. And while research shows that disadvantaged groups, such as poor and rural children, benefit most from quality early learning, they are the least likely to be served. Interactive radio instruction helps children and families of all means gain access to and succeed in early education. IRI also helps teachers and caregivers with little formal training and limited education build the skills they need to support positive, age-appropriate child development. But how does it work? IRI teachers and students tune in to radio lessons broadcast during regular class time. In some cases, recorded media such as CDs or MP3 files are used instead of broadcast. Through the radio lesson, children enter an imaginary world with entertaining characters, lively music, and imaginative stories. The radio characters range from the familiar, teachers and children, to the fantastic, talking monkeys and singing spiders. They lead the listening teachers and children through activities designed to promote meaningful learning. The games, songs, and movements keep children active and ensure that they interact with their teachers and with each other. Children may be asked to respond up to 100 times in a half-hour lesson by answering questions, acting out movements, identifying letters or numbers, and more. The concentrated time on task and the active nature of learning through IRI result in consistently strong learning outcomes. An IRI program begins with a careful assessment of the needs of communities and the resources they can bring to bear. A team combining the expertise of international and local early childhood specialists, as well as teachers, community leaders, writers, musicians, and artists, develops the curriculum and a master plan for delivering that curriculum via radio. Local scriptwriters are trained to develop scripts for entertaining lessons which include rich learning activities and reflect the children's cultural traditions.
How wide is that in sentences?
Local actors and musicians bring the scripts to life, infusing stories and music into digital recordings of approximately 30 minutes per lesson. Before being widely distributed, programs are tested to ensure that they work. Evaluators ensure that instructions are clear, the level of challenge is appropriate, and the lesson is feasible in the classroom setting. A teacher's guide helps teachers execute each lesson effectively. The guide helps teachers prepare materials before class and develop effective follow-on activities for after the radio broadcast. Face-to-face training informs teachers about the teaching techniques embedded in the programs and prepares them to use IRI in the classroom. The daily support provided by radio then limits the need for further face-to-face training, keeping recurring costs low. Following a broadcast schedule or their own routine supported by recorded media, teachers then lead their classes' participation in the IRI programs. Throughout this process, The capacity of local partners to support and sustain programs is strengthened to ensure a lasting impact. Education Development Center has helped its partners create and sustain IRI programs in over 30 countries. Recently, EDC has increasingly focused its IRI programming on children who are not in school, who are affected by conflict, who are orphans, and who live in countries where education and care systems have broken down. EDC has helped create successful IRI programs for children aged 3 to 8 in contexts as varied as Zambia, where first graders in schools using IRI scored twice as well on literacy tests as those in schools not using IRI. Bolivia, where in a broad group of child development measures, IRI participants scored an average of 27 percentage points higher than non-participants. Indonesia, where kindergartners are 1/3 less likely to fall below school readiness in language when they take part in IRI lessons. Honduras, where children showed important gains in learning, and their parents and teachers improved their knowledge and skills. Zanzibar, where first-grade IRI students averaged 10% higher scores in Kiswahili, math, and English. And Madagascar, where in just 1 year, teachers using IRI improved a minimum of 31 percentage points in 6 key areas for improved teaching. In many settings, teachers of young children have limited education and few professional development opportunities. The daily practice of good teaching habits guided by the radio gives teachers greater confidence, knowledge, and skills. This is especially important for the most isolated teachers, who may not otherwise receive frequent, regular reinforcement of high-quality teaching practices. When observed outside of radio time, performing on their own, teachers who have been exposed to IRI have demonstrated increased use of high-quality instructional practices. Carefully designed early childhood IRI programs create playful, meaningful learning for students and help their teachers become more skilled in effective, age-appropriate instruction. Once the IRI system is well established, governments can sustain it on their own for many years. Using electronic media keeps recurring costs as low as pennies a year per child, while radio's reach enables even the most marginalized communities to access and benefit from programming. Sustainable quality becomes affordable and manageable. IRI for early childhood development is a high-return investment for countries hoping to provide their youngest citizens with a strong start.